Hey guys, Jen here, and welcome back to my channel where I help you become your best self through better health. For today's video, and for the purpose of this whole series, I've been wanting to bring more awareness to the state of our water. Because I would be remiss if I was encouraging you to drink more water without providing you with proper information on the best kind of water to drink and then also the quality of our water. Because as I've said before, not all water is created equal, and I hope you realize that. And the quality of water is just as important as drinking more of it. So that's been the purpose of this whole little series. Like I said, I'm going to touch on more down the road because you can go so far on the topic of water, and so this is just hitting some of the surface. I haven't even gone into great detail in some of these videos, but what I wanted to talk to you about today is the most common dangerous chemicals that are found in our tap and bottled water. I'm only going to go over 4, but there's so many. It's a long list and it's crazy. So that's why I just wanted to bring this awareness to you so you can be a conscious consumer and make the best decision in regards to what is the best water to drink. Because if you're encouraged to drink more water, what's the point if it's just contaminated with a bunch of chemicals, right? So if you're having trouble drinking your water, make sure you go check out that video, how I reach my daily water goal, wherever that's going to be, plus tips so you can too. And then also, if you are not sure what is the best kind of water to drink, then check that video out as well, wherever it's going to be displayed here. So I probably should have recorded this video before the best water to drink, but either way, that's fine. You can go check them out. The information and the links will be in the description below. So let's get into what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, which is the dangerous chemicals that are found in our tap and even our bottled water. Because if you go back and watch what is the best water to drink, you'll realize that even our bottled water is contaminated, and it really is just glorified. I'll let you figure that out what it is, okay? So let's get into some of the common chemicals that are found in our tap and bottled water, starting with dangerous chemical number 1, which is fluoride, okay? So contrary to what we've been told about fluoride and its efficacy or benefits, it's really quite the opposite, and it's been added to our toothpaste, mouthwash, and even our drinking water because it's been, touted as a beneficial, element to reducing tooth decay. But upon further research and some of the studies that I have looked at, that is on the contrary, and so much so that the United States is one of the top countries that has, or nation rather, that has fluoride in their water. Most other developed nations don't add fluoride to their water. And it's interesting because those developed nations that don't add fluoride to their water have a lower tooth decay than the ones that actually do add fluoride to their water. So I'll let you make that, connection there. So at the end of the day, fluoride does not necessarily, stop tooth decay. But what it is it's very toxic. So let me just go back to that, because the United States, it says fluorides or fluoridates over 70% of its water supplies. So basically, the U.S. has more people drinking fluoride than any other developed nation, which I think is interesting because, like I said, the developed countries that don't have fluoride in their water actually have a lower tooth decay rate than the ones that do add fluoride to their water. So why is fluoride so dangerous? Well, for one, there's a few reasons why it's dangerous, and there's a few reasons, and a lot of these chemicals, they have like similar effects on the body because of the toxicity. And so they run rampant. Once they get into our bloodstream, they run rampant in our body, and it just causes damage. So for instance, fluoride causes fluorosis, which is a change in the tooth enamel. It can cause brain damage, learning disabilities, and behavioral disorders, reduced IQ in children and adults, as far as memory and learning, cognitive disorders, and reduced bone density in teens and elderly, and even the elderly, causing osteoporosis and etc. So, and then aside from that, actually on the spiritual side, fluoride calcifies the pineal gland, and which is AKA your third eye. And I'll discuss that another time. So that's another topic for another day. We'll put on the back burner. But with all this toxicity and known toxicity of fluoride, it's interesting that the United States still adds it when other developed nations don't. And so my question would be, why are we still adding fluoride to our water when it's not necessary? So I'll let you do your research and figure that out for yourself. So let's move on to the dangerous chemical number 2, the second one. So arsenic. So arsenic is also naturally occurring. So all of these, chemicals are naturally occurring, but they're just highly toxic and highly dangerous and high amounts and high dosages. We're not meant to ingest these chemicals on a consistent basis, like years and years. So arsenic is found in the Earth's core. But it also can be manufactured. So either way, like I said, regardless of how the form of arsenic, it's highly toxic. It's commonly found in rice. Yes, rice. So that's another topic for another day too. Your infant formula, and also rat poison. So it's known, I forget the exact term that it was saying, that what arsenic is known for, like the death or the poison of poisons, basically. And so it's found in our drinking water, the water systems, as well as the bottled water that you're purchasing on the counters. And the interesting thing about that is that in 1974, Congress passed the Safe Drinking Water Act, where the Environmental Protection Agency sets a standard on how much chemical can be, or the rate at which chemical can, surface in the drinking water. And the amount was initially set to 50 ppb per billion, parts per billion. So 50 parts per billion, which is equivalent to 50 micrograms per liter of arsenic in our drinking water. But in recent years, it's been reduced to 10 ppb parts per billion, which is 10 micrograms per liter, due to the more information on the toxicity of and the consumer awareness of arsenic. All right. And I was doing the research on this as well, and it's known that several popular brands of bottled water have arsenic levels above 3 parts per billion. So either at 3 parts per billion or above 3 parts per billion. And it's pretty dangerous. So what makes arsenic so dangerous: cancer, bladder and lung, skin cancer, fetal development and birth defects, reduced IQ, heart disease, and even death, okay? Because it's killing rats, so it's obviously going to kill us, right? So, but I found that just interesting how in 1974, the Safe Drinking Water Act was passed, and supposedly giving you the levels of what should be what. And it's interesting, but it's important to note that essentially there's no safe level of these toxic chemicals to be ingested, okay? So moving on to number 3, the dangerous number 3 chemical, mercury. So again, mercury is also a naturally occurring heavy metal found in the Earth's crust, and it's most commonly used in thermometers and even used to fill cavities in the past. But due to, again, more extensive research showing how toxic, like highly toxic mercury is, people are moving away from the mercury fillings because the mercury can cause brain damage, liver, and kidney damage. So again, once these chemicals get into our bloodstream, highly toxic, and really mess with your nervous system, your nerve endings, and really just basically tearing down your body and deteriorating it at a slow level. So how mercury gets into our drinking water, the EPA states it's through erosion of natural deposits and discharge from refineries. So when you're burning the coal, you're burning these natural resources, the mercury gets in the air, it evaporates, then it gets into the water, and then when it gets into the water, then the fish eat it, and then when the fish eat it, we eat it. And that's why it's not recommended for you to watch your fish intake, especially pregnant women, due to the high content of mercury. So it gets into the air through the evaporation from the burning and the coals in the refineries and the landfills and stuff like that, and that's how it gets into our water systems. Okay, so highly toxic, heart, liver, and kidney damage. Okay, and the fourth dangerous chemical that I want to talk to you about that's found in our water systems and bottled water, or can be found in the bottled water, is from pipe or lead. I'm sorry, number 4 is lead. So pipes and paint from back in the day. So this was, the old pipes and even the paint from back in the day that have the lead in them. Lead is so toxic that the EPA puts it at a level 0, that there should be no lead found in any of the water systems, the drinking water systems or bottled water, because it's so toxic. Again, behavioral and learning problems, lower IQ, hyperactivity, slower growth, and in pregnant women, the reduce of the growth of the fetus and premature birth. Because if the pregnant woman is ingesting these chemicals, then that's going to be passed through the placenta and just, it gets passed into the bloodstream to the child. And so it's just the ongoing unfortunate cycle that we are dealing with when we have all of these contaminants in our water, and how it is causing birth defects, fertility, reproduction issues, brain cognitive issues, cancer. And it really is just, it's crazy, right? So you're probably thinking, well, like, what can I do when all of these chemicals are found in the water? Hopefully you've been doing your research if you watched the other videos. But the best thing that you can do is get you a water filter. And just like not all water is created equal, not all water filters are created equal. And you have to get a filter that filters specifically what contaminant you want to remove. Basically, you want to remove all of the contaminants, but to do that, it could be a little costly, because that's going to be through reverse osmosis, because that does remove all of the contaminants. However, the downside to reverse osmosis is that while it removes the contaminants, all of the contaminants, it also removes the beneficial minerals, like magnesium, calcium, and potassium. So that's kind of the downside to reverse osmosis. So if you want to install one of those systems, make sure that you add the mineral drops to it. And if installing a reverse osmosis system is not feasible for you, then you definitely want to purchase a water filter that clearly states what water that it and what contaminants rather that it removes. Okay, because the carbon filters does not remove all of these other contaminants like the lead and all those things. You have to make sure that you're reading the label and it states specifically what it is removing. Okay, so again, if you want to know the best type of water to drink and what I recommend, watch what is the best water to drink, that video. I also recommend doing a heavy metal detox from time to time. I do one, and it helps to remove the buildup from our bodies on a daily basis that we absorb on a daily basis, from the air that we're breathing to the water that we're consuming via brushing our teeth and even taking a shower, the things that are emitted from that. So it's really important that you do a heavy metal detox from time to time. I'll go into more details on that in another video and another time. And if you're shopping in the market for fluoride-free toothpaste and just really in all natural skincare products, make sure you go check out my friends at Gardener's Garden. They are amazing. I use their toothpaste or their tooth powder, the activated charcoal tooth powder, which is amazing because it helps absorb the impurities. There's no fluoride in it, and it's awesome. So the link will be in the description below for that. Gardener's Garden, 100% natural skincare. Make sure you go check them out. All right, so that's it for today's video. Again, I just wanted to bring some awareness to the dangerous chemicals that are in our water systems as well as our bottled water, because just because it's bottled water does not mean that it's contaminant free. There have been multiple reports in the news over the past few years about the high arsenic levels found in the bottled waters. And while these companies are supposed to be making sure that they're testing their levels, a lot of them aren't. And so that's another thing I would recommend, is going to these companies' websites, holding them accountable. So if they're not producing the quality of product that they're saying, then don't buy from them, right? So hold them accountable and make sure you're doing your due diligence and your research again to becoming a conscious consumer. All right, so that's it for today's video. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some information that you didn't know. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you next Friday for the last video of this mini water series, and I'm super excited about that. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope I will see you next Friday, and until then, see you then. Bye.